Hello players, welcome to Players Guild. My name is Loki and I am joined by our lovely guild master Scott. How are you doing?
Hello, I'm good. I can't wait to talk about some Runecraft here for Shadowverse Evolve. This is our third starter deck video. You can go back and check out the Forestcraft and the Swordcraft video we've done, as well as an unboxing of the Japanese Premium Collection, which had all 6 starter decks. But we're gonna break it down here. Before we have to do that, we have to talk about Voltex. Loki, I'll hand it off to you.
Voltex is our newest affiliate. We got affiliated with an amazing website, web store
Brand?
that makes and sells accessories. They have binders, they have deck boxes. If you are one of the Bandai card game players, they do sell 3x4 binders. Scott there will tell you he buys them in bulk. And
I do. I do.
and
It's
if you want to buy some, use our discount code Players Guild to give you 10% discount. There's also a link in the description that will let them know that you came from our video, which is going to help our channel as well.
hmm Yeah, awesome. So let's get talking about starter deck mysteries of Conjuration.
So this is a very interesting, for me, it's a very interesting starter deck because Runecraft,
Runecraft.
yeah,
Yeah.
has spoiler. I used to play the Japanese game, so I still use the Japanese names for the classes. So it has two major strategies. One is
hmm
Spell Boost, which is all about spells, which this starter deck is, and the other one is Earthright, which is all about special amulets, which comes in the main deck, main set rather. And I'm looking forward to playing with the Earthright, as much as it was not good when the game initially came out as a mobile game. It became way better down the line because they got some really good amulets. But this one is all about casting spells and having a lot of spells.
Yeah, so
So
the previous 2 decks we talked about was very follower heavy.
yes,
This one, it's going to mix it up a little bit. So let's take it away with our legendary of the deck.
which is the Mythril Golem. So this is the first legendary that we've seen that depends on your setup. It's not good just on its own. So it's a 6 play point, 5/6 golem. On the fanfare, deals 3 damage to each enemy follower on the field. So it's just deal 3 damage to all the followers. Spell Chain 7, which is their version of a spell boost. It doesn't count how many spells you've casted, it counts how many spells you have in your discard pile,
hmm
which means self milling is very important for this deck.
hmm
It deals 5 damage instead, and then spell chain 15. So if you have at least 15 spells in your drop, it also does 5 damage to the enemy leader.
Pretty
So
good.
it's 5 on board and 5 to face for 6 play points. If you have 15 spells in the graveyard, that is the biggest problem
Mm.
here. It's really strong follower, but it requires setup. It's not as on its own in a vacuum. It's not as strong as the other two legendary followers we have seen,
No, I think that's a very fair thing. Like 656 is good,
and
but
deals free
whereas
damage to all the followers. Right?
yeah, which is
Always does that.
like it's good. Don't get us wrong, but like you compare it to Tsubaki, which can come in and do. She can wreck house really. Um, and what I can't remember the Forest Crafts one's name, but she comes
Aria,
in and can essentially set you up. Yeah. Um,
and she gives you
on her own.
9 followers.
Yeah. So like both of those are self-contained. This does again, as you mentioned, requires those spells in your graveyard to really benefit from it. But again, a 6 drop 5/6 is fine stat wise. That does do 3 damage minimum to everything on the field. Enemy followers on the field.
Yes, doesn't hit yours. God bless.
Yeah, it's not a nuke.
Next one is the card that you always loved to see whenever I played it.
I absolutely hate this card.
Demonflame Mage. So this is from the theme of every single starter deck gets its own free play point, free evolve for 1, do something on evolve,
Mhm.
and she evolves into Demonflame Mage here. Here we go.
I mean, I love the artwork, but
I love the
the,
card, but I can see why she's oppressive.
mm, the 2 damage to every follower on the field. It's so good. Like
Enemy
honestly,
follower.
damage is permanent. So this is absolutely insane. She's also 4/4, which is really nice.
It's very easy for me to set up situation where we have 5 followers and just
Mhm.
play her evolve and just board wipe you.
She will destroy most tokens.
Yes.
Like she just comes out and goes, "Oh, you're playing tokens, haha, that's nice."
There is in set 1. The one thing I know about set 1 is that there is going to be a Runecraft
Mhm.
deck that runs very small amount of minions because I think it's 10 minions total, and this is one of them.
Yeah, it's great. Like I hate going against it, but I can see why playing it. But yeah, this is definitely a card to watch out for. She's very strong, and
You need
yeah,
to see her to stop the aggro. That's
you've
her
got to
purpose.
100%.
Next one is Insight. Very simple card. As simple as this card is, I absolutely love it. And Scott knows, and people who watch our channel know, this is my favorite type of a spell. Very cheap, and just says draw a card. It's 1 play point, quick spell, draw a card. I leave the play points up to do something when you try to attack me. You do nothing. At the end of your turn, I will just draw a card.
Yeah, exactly right. If I try and counter you, oh, you've got 6 play points left up. Ugh, don't really want to attack into that. Okay, cool. End of turn, I'll play 1 or 2 of these and just draw. Yeah,
Yeah.
and then, yeah,
And put more spells in my graveyard. I'll set up
yep.
my game plan.
Mhm.
Next is Fire Chain, which is also... This is such a scary thing.
Mhm.
It's a 2 play point spell, quick spell again. Select up to 2 enemy followers and deal 3 damage to them. Divided between them. Sorry.
Yeah.
So
you do 3 damage overall.
Yeah.
But you can hit 2 things.
Yeah. So as we mentioned, every single craft class has a 2 mana deal 3 damage. We have not seen the one for Swordcraft because I think it's in the main set. The rest seem to be the starter deck exclusives because we've seen the Sylvan Justice and now we have a Fire Chain. This is a very strong skill because it lets you hit 2 targets. If you have 2 1/1s, I can just clear them up.
Yeah, and also like you can do this at the end of my turn.
Yeah.
Bring some of my guys down to that 2 range.
To the Demonflame.
And then just go flame. Yeah, it's super flexible in its use there. You might think, oh, well, it's 3 damage, but it's across 2. It's a lot more useful than it appears on face value.
I mean, also, if you want to, you can use all 3 damage on 1 target.
Yeah, that's true. That is true. Like, it is
says
just a
you
free
split it between
removal.
up to 2 targets.
Yeah, that's true. So many uses. So good.
Next one is the card that was always finishing the games in the starter deck.
Absolute
This
scary
card
card.
should not exist.
No.
I'm going to go out and say that this card should not exist, not at this cost.
No, I 100% agree with you on this.
This is a gold card for the starter deck. We talked about how Tsubaki was overstated for her cost. 6 mana to deal 5 to face was scary. This is 3 mana deal 5 to face.
Yeah.
So to run through the card, it's a 3 mana 1/1. So 3 play points 1/1. On the fanfare, Spell Chain 5, it gets +4/+4. Again, that's permanent. And Spell Chain 10, it gets Storm, which means it's a 3 mana 5/5 go face. And I end the games when we were playing with this. I was ending the game by dropping 3 of those, just going for 15 when I had some incidental damage earlier on.
Yeah, it's absolutely gross. It's scary. It's so scary.
I just think this card should not exist. No. It should either cost 4 mana so you can't drop 3 of them, or it should go up to 4/4, not 5/5.
Yeah. It's definitely one of the best cards in the game right now.
Yes, but now we're going to the actual MVP of the
best
deck.
Card in the game is Penguin Wizard. He is a 2-cost 1/4 with an evolve, but he also has an activate of you can rest him to discard a spell and draw a card.
Yep.
Which is amazing.
And this is one of the most powerful cards in the deck. Because the tap abilities can, as far as I remember, can be used on the turn they're played. You can't attack, but you can use the tap ability.
Exactly, and also you can evolve into Penguin Wizard Evolve mode. Look at it, oh, it's so cute. When you evolve with this guy, you can refresh. So essentially, you could do this twice in one turn.
Because it keeps the same effect.
And
But I
it gets
once
nice
killed
plus
you
one.
with it.
You did.
There was once a situation where I attacked with Penguin Wizard, and I was missing 2 damage. I was like, wait, evolve?
Penguin
refresh,
Wizard.
attack?
Yeah.
Because it doesn't say that you can't attack with it, which is
Nope.
a scary bit. But yeah, it's mostly used for that ability to discard spells. You fuel your spell chain, which is very important for the deck, as you can imagine. And you don't lose card advantage on that. Also, it's fairly tanky.
Yeah, I mean, 2/5, it's
Even
going to take a
1/4
lot.
is tanky.
1/4 is really good. 2/5 is just it makes it, you don't want to swing into it because like you're not going to probably clear it, and 2's going to hit down on your lower guys, especially if you're playing low aggro.
Or you're going to open up your guys to be removed by my spells very easily.
Exactly. So another use of just how these cards are great in synergy with each other.
Next one is a very interesting card.
Sammy, Wizard's Apprentice, a 1/2/1 with Evolve 2, but on Fanfare, which is when you play it, look at the top card of your deck. You may put it into your cemetery, which is your graveyard. You drop, you discard, whatever.
So this exists to a spell drop.
Yep.
To spell chain, and then after she evolves, her on-evolve effect makes both players draw a card, and she becomes a 3/2.
Just going through your deck as quick as possible.
Yeah, but I don't like the fact that you give your opponent
the draw. No, exactly right. They could draw into something, and you're like,
I mean, yeah, she also costs 2 to evolve.
Yeah, I think this is one of the cases where you probably won't run the evolved version.
Yeah, but even then, she's not that great as a 1-drop.
No.
Cause, where's the card? There we go. Insight is way stronger as a 1-drop.
And it's a spell.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And you know you're going to get the spell in the drop in the cemetery if you do that. Next one we have Conjure Golem. It's another 1-drop spell, which is interesting in a way. So it's a 1-drop quick spell, and you choose one of the golems and put it in your EX area. So Guard from Golem is 2 play points, 2/3 with Ward, and Strike from Golem is 2 play points, 3/2 with Rush. So 1 is sitting there and defending, and 1 you can play to remove something. The fact you can play it at the end of your opponent's turn, on turn 1, then you go turn 2 and you can immediately play the Golem, is what makes it viable. But I would still not say it's a great card. It's definitely an interesting card.
Oh, I 100%. I really like the idea around golems, and so as more golems come to the game, I think this is one of the cards that I'd look to really just mess around with, because I think golems are cool as a concept, right? And this is me coming from a no idea what's coming in the game, and so anything that I can see that can make the golems work together more, I'm happy for.
So just a quick show on the golems. This is the Strike form Golem. And then we have the Guard
form.
Yeah, again, those are tokens, so you keep them separately. There is going to be more effects that play golems, but I don't think, because we skipped the basic golem, because the basic golem was 1 mana 2/2. But we went straight up into upgraded golems, which I think is fair. And then the final card for the starter deck is Magic Missiles, which got slight upgrade from the video game. It's a 3 play points quick spell. You select 1 enemy follower, deal 2 damage, and draw a card. It deals lower damage, but also draws you a card.
Yeah, it replaces itself and also puts in a spell in your cemetery, which is what you want.
Exactly.
And it's a great card to, if you're leaving your PP up, you're not playing too much. This is a great one to play at the end of your turn. Well, end of your opponent's turn, I should say.
I like to see that the main engine cards are not starter deck exclusive. Spell Cache, for example, is not starter deck exclusive. It's just a common from the set. I
Yeah.
don't like the fact that Insight is starter deck exclusive. If at any point you will want to think about playing the witch class, help me,
Runecraft.
Runecraft, thank you. You will need the insights. You will need some cards from here. The Penguin is really good
Mm.
for so many
Yeah.
different decks. The Penguin is really good. And so there will be, if someone is going to come up with some stupid mill idea, then that one drop is going to come in handy. That makes both
Yeah.
players draw a card.
I'm
Sammy.
with you on this one. I think like this is a deck that you're gonna probably, even though you get everything from one, I think you're probably better off picking up two of this deck just because there are so many powerful cards in this deck, and the price of admission makes it worth just picking up an extra copy of this deck rather than just going after the singles. I think right based on no knowledge of what the singles market's like, to me, I think this is just a good investment to pick up two versions of this deck, one to play with, one then down the line if you need more stuff.
And the thing is that, as much as in set 1 this is going to be a control deck, that doesn't stay true for this class. This class goes through so many iterations, and if they're going to follow anything like it was, I think last year there was a ridiculous aggro deck.
Mm.
And of course, we know in set 2 we're getting the chess, which is the new aggro deck. It's not as strong, but it's still very strong. And it's an aggro deck, follower based, but in this class, which means you have access to magic missile, the spell chain fire, whatever it is, spell fire chain. That's the one. You get access to insights. You get access to all of those mid range options, which means if you don't want to go full aggro, you need some cards from the starter deck.
Yeah.
So it doesn't matter what's your playstyle. There might always be a point that you will need this starter deck.
Yeah, I think this is the one that I would say right now is a must buy. Like I think the others, depending on your playstyle,
Yes,
this again
very much
is
so.
very dependent. Like if you're a control player, pick it up. Like it's a no-brainer. But I think this is also one that for future, we don't know their reprint policy. We don't know how they're going to approach reprints.
It's
I would
Bushiroad.
pick one
They're
of
not
these
going
up.
to be reprinting.
Exactly right.
Once a
I
year,
think
they for what I know from Vanguard. So Weishfars, they don't reprint anything.
no.
From Vanguard,
Well,
once a
they
year.
have now, but that's a whole different
Yeah.
story.
For Vanguard, once a year they give you a set with some reprints for each of the formats, which makes me think that there's not going to be many reprints. You want to grab those on release.
Yeah. Be safe than sorry, right?
Yeah.
Because I imagine, right, some of these cards in a playset can easily fetch up the price of what the deck will end up costing you anyway.
Oh, definitely.
Exactly. So I think be safe. Pick up one of these if you have any inkling of wanting to splash into this as not splash into or dive into this as an archetype. Runecraft is definitely something that will get more interesting, as you mentioned, in the future. So maybe you don't want to play this version of deck, but you will need cards from this deck to play it at a higher level in the future. There's just too many good things to miss out on here.
Yeah. I think that's the first of stuff. I sincerely do hope that they're going to do the premium collection for English as well, but at the moment there's no inclinations of that.
We've not seen anything for it, which is a real shame because that is one of the coolest products that I've ever had had the chance of having. So that is really unfortunate. But I think this is a really solid place to go, and hopefully some stores will offer you a bundle for buying all 6 as well.
Yeah.
Guys, if you do want to get yourself on some deck boxes or some binders, then please do check out our affiliate links in the description below. With VaultX, you can go to the UK link, which is for the UK, and US will take you to Amazon.com. The code Players Guild will work all the same. Save yourself 10% and help the channel in doing so. And yeah, I've been Scott Sedman, joined by Loki Smith. This has been some Shadowverse content and Shadowverse. Shadowverse Evolve is what I was trying to say. And we'll see you next time.